Now with the app, I can stay at home.
I listen to this all the way home, and
I can listen on my way back to work.
That's not bad for a work day.
101.5 FM, KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN, 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Very happy to have you with us on another Sunday morning as we discuss the world of pro wrestling. That's right, kids. We're going to take it into the ring and outside of it. I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff that was going on outside of the ring was a little more interesting than what happened in it this week. But we're going to hit you with it all. So brace yourselves, everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's bring in a guy who is trolling me, but his team kind of took it in the shorts here yesterday. Eric Hay, the Haymaker, what's up?
Good morning, Las Vegas and wrestling world. And yeah, about that game last night.
Yeah. Niners beat my Eagles, and that's what you get. That's what you get.
They forgot to get off the plane when they got to Seattle, apparently.
Well, things happen when you get off the plane in Seattle.
That's true.
It's I know that very well, actually. But yeah, tough day for the Niners. And tough day for the Broncos, too. Get a win and lose the quarterback. That's not good.
No.
All right. Well, let's dig in, Eric. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And by the way, Matt Black from WrestleZone is going to be joining us too. Our good friend Matty is going to be on the show hour number 2. So be ready for Matt to come in with his unique brand of broadcasting. I love listening to Matt. TNA had, shall we say, an interesting week. I think that would be fair to say. As the new show debuted on AMC, but right before that, the inspiration leave. Tony Khan signs all 4 of the Rascals. He gets all 4 of them. They're out. The TNA mainstays are now in AEW. And I mean, I'm still laughing about that, Eric. Tony going in and swooping those 4 guys up, and like they're guys with TNA that are just have been there forever. Worked very hard, been used a lot. And Tony just says 2 days before your new show, yeah, come on over. That's pretty crazy. Just to start, Eric.
It was, it's a great signing. Get all 4 of them. I mean, obviously I've been watching, especially Wesley over the years, and man, more power to him. And kind of reminds me of back in the 90s a little bit with the Monday Night Wars when steal someone and boom.
Yeah. I
just hope they're used correctly and they can show off what they do to a bigger audience.
Yeah. I'm Trey Miguel. I love Trey Miguel, and Zach Wentz and Myron Reed. I mean, all just 4 great wrestlers, and Tony steals them before the show. So the show, and you only get one chance to make a first impression. And I think we got to be fair and say, it was a first show. They're on a new network. You try and do things a little differently. But dag, the current rating on cagematch.com was like 1.18 out of 10.
Oof. Ouch.
That's not what you're shooting for.
No.
I think most people would be hoping for, like a 3.
Yeah.
But they had just so many things go wrong on that show. You had 3 matches. I mean, and AJ Styles comes out to open the show up, which great idea.
Yeah.
But he goes out and says, hey, I don't want to take up too much time. And, we got to get to the wrestling. And they didn't have a match for 20 minutes, which was interesting. A lot of commercials in there. Production just didn't look sharp. You had Leon Slater trapped. The X Division champion was trapped in Europe. He was over helping WWE out and had a visa issue and couldn't get back. Showing off some empty seats in the building. I mean, Eric, there was just so much that went wrong on this show. And the world title changed hands, too. And people still didn't like this show. I mean, Mike Santana gets the title back from Frankie Kazarian. And I know you watched it. What did you think of all those issues? Fair?
And they're very fair to point those out. I mean, like you said, one chance to make the first impression. You went on AMC. It's your first time. You had this broader audience since you've been on Spike TV, and you basically crapped the bed.
Wow. Yeah, and look, I'm sure they're going to rebound from this. Man, it's going to take some time. Once you get off, if you get off to a bad start, people, and it just brought back a lot of memories from a lot of fans about some things that happened in the past with TNA. They just didn't have it together over there. I mean, they had their moments, but at times it just seemed very unorganized and just nothing was working with them. And people were saying this is, of all the TNA shows, this is the most TNA-est. And comments like that, I mean, just wow, tore it apart. But I think there's something that really showed up on the show that I think has been somewhat overlooked. And it is a reminder that because of this WWE deal, where they're taking all their talent, whether it's permanently or they're using somebody for a set of matches or a tour or something like that. The TNA roster, especially losing the Rascals and losing the Inspiration, is a little thin. It's a little thin. They lost Joe Hendry. They lost Jordan Grace. And Leon Slater, as soon as they can grab him, is gone. He's gone. TNA's got a problem here. They don't pay as well as the other organizations. Now, a lot of their contracts, from my understanding, is that they're not like locked in long-term deals. It's a lot of part-time stuff. I think they have a major concern at this point with having top-tier talent on the show. And it's not a slam on people like Mike Santana or Frankie or anybody like that, Nick, but it's not the names that you would really want to have an impact, to use a phrase, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Nice pun there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No, they're definitely showing that they're very much the number 3 promotion, and barely that at times. And like you said, they're going to lose a lot of people, whether WWE scoops most of them up based on their deal, or someone leaves and goes to AEW, decides, hey, I don't want to get lost. I might get lost in the shuffle in WWE, and I want to go to AEW where I may have a bigger shot to show what I can do. But either way, it's going to be like, I feel it's going to be like 2099 with ECW. The roster's going to get thinner, and they're just going to lose people to either the big company or the second biggest company. Yeah,
I think that this deal is a problem for them. That, yes, it got them exposure, but it's like you open the door to the hen house to the fox.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody gets released from WWE, can you really go back to TNA? I mean, you can't do it right away. I mean, you're kind of working for the master still already. I mean, yes, you are with TNA, which is a separate company, but WWE has a lot of control now over what goes on in there. So how does this help pro wrestlers? And how does it help TNA? It just seems like that while they got a short-term bump out of this, I don't think long-term it's going to work out. I just don't. And with WWE having that clause in there, they have first right to buy TNA. I don't know. I think TNA may have some issues of surviving 5 or 10 years with all this.
No, I agree. I mean, credit to them for lasting almost 24 years as they have. But yeah, they're definitely coming off as they're on the downtrend. And like you said, they're basically a fourth brand for WWE.
Yeah, and WWE was very smart to find a way to get involved with them because TNA was on a roll there. And the thing that I don't get, I would love to ask that about the deal is one thing, but I also like to ask Carlos Silva about, you were on the upswing. Things were really starting to get rolling, and you signed that deal and just handed it away. I mean, I don't know, but TNA, hopefully they're going to get this stuff squared up on their production side, because that's the biggest thing. You got to get that right. Got to get it right. But so a little shaky debut on AMC for TNA, and and the one thing they did too, I think, with all the commercials and stuff, they were trying to copy WWE on that. I bet WWE said, yeah, just put all the commercials in you want, everybody be happy.
Yes, yeah. Start a match, go to commercial, come back for the last 2 minutes of the match.
Ugh. And WWE's actually cutting their commercials, which is ironic. But we did have once again, Mike Santana did win the world title, and then TNA Genesis took place on Saturday night, and pretty interesting that they changed the title on the AMC show, but then Santana retained in a rematch with Nick Nemeth being the referee on there. But I don't know, didn't seem like there was a whole lot that really came out of Genesis last night. I think they pretty much did what they were going to do on the AMC show with some new debuts and so on. But you just run down the card. There weren't any title changes last night. The Hardys, and this one I don't get either. You bring in the Righteous, and in their match with the Hardys, actually were like, we want to feel the pain, and the Hardys beat them. And they make that statement late in the match. But the Righteous are guys, and I'm sure they're going to keep dragging this out. But I hate when you debut a team or someone that you're wanting to put over and they lose right away. I hate that.
Yeah, definitely not a fan either. You don't want to have this team debuting and then have them get beat. And what stock do they have?
Yeah, I love those guys too. It's just, but we did have some, a lot of good matches on the card. We had AJ Francis, Rich Swann facing off. Mustafa Ali beat Elijah last night. JDC retired, the former Fandango. Johnny Curtis losing to Eddie Edwards. Ryan Nemeth had an intergender match last night. Joe Hendry, Cedric Alexander, Moose Hendry wins that one. So, I mean, it's good card. Good card. But I just don't know how much people are going to really say, oh, do you remember Genesis 2026? I don't know if it made that level.
No, I just, like you said, just a good card, but nothing stood out. I mean, if Nemeth cashed in, so to say, maybe that would have helped it at the end of the show. But it was so obvious watching Santana sit up and watch him go grab the trophy. Yeah. That told you right there what was going to happen. Yeah. So Nick did not cash in last night. So Mike Santana escapes Genesis with the championship. Wow, what a weird week for TNA. Weird. Very.
Ugh. All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to follow up on some of that other things that happened with TNA, including Moose, my friend. Oh, but not one of the best statements I've ever heard Moose make. We'll talk about that. We've got new 6-man champs, and we got a lot of people moving around too. Oh my God, or trios champs in AEW, I should say. But wow, wild happenings all over wrestling. We'll have more on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back.
How much does it cost to borrow $1,000 at Dollar Loan Center? Stand by for details, and Happy New Year. Nobody wants to be broke in 2026, so Dollar Loan Center and Don'tBeBroke.com have you covered like never before on our signature loans up to $5,000 in minutes. At DLC, you only pay interest for the days you have the loan out. Let's say you borrow $1,000. If you're a new customer, the first 7 days are on us. $0 in interest. After that, it'll cost you $5.50 per day. That's it. Need it for 10 days? That's $55. You can do the math from there. Get up to $5,000 in minutes at Don'tBeBroke.com. Find a location near you or call a real, live, friendly DLC loan specialist today.
For additional cost information, call 866-550-4352. Subject to approval, limitations may apply.
Lowe's knows how to turn big plans into real results. Whether it's new appliances or a home refresh, get started with 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more with a My Lowe's Rewards credit card, January 15th through the 30th, so you can invest in your upgrade now and pay over time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer subject to credit approval and cannot be combined. Minimum monthly payment required. See store or Lowe's.com for details.
Empower. Ellie here is getting the sleeve she's always dreamed of. She worked with Empower and planned for her next move, so she got good at money. Now she can be a little bad. Oh, by the way, you spelled journey wrong. No worries. She can afford the cover-up too. Ooh, check out my tat. It says, invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text METER to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text METER to 42424. That's METER to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. Also on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Go get that app, and you'll be able to make fun of people like the 49ers, too. Well, maybe not. They won't hear you, but you're going to get to listen to some great programming. Our show on KDAWN, all the great shows here and throughout 220 Odyssey stations and other great podcasts. It's just loaded. I mean, you really don't need anything else. Go get that Odyssey app. And you know what? There may be a couple extra cookies in your cookie jar. Maybe. Just brace yourself. We are also live streaming, by the way, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. On X at Mark Hoke Show, YouTube and Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. So you can come on in and you can make comments. You know, so when Eric says something stupid, which, you know, doesn't happen very often, or especially when I do, you can say, Mark, you're an idiot. You know, be a troll. It's okay. But we love to have your interactions and thoughts. So hop on in there and join us in the chat today. All right. Now, I don't know what my boy Moose was doing, man. The multiple time TNA champ. He's a good dude. But he slipped up because, of course, many people were ripping the TNA show. And, oh, boy, Moose wasn't happy about it. But these comments did not go over well. You remember early last year, probably around this time, Triple H made that comment about saying that, you know, you shouldn't be a critic. You should just be a fan and not say anything. Well, Moose made the comment that any criticism of TNA should only come from people who were experts in the same field we are in. And I'm just like, dude, if you watch the show, you're allowed to say, I like it. I didn't like it. I mean, why should you just sit there, in the same, and Triple H basically said kind of the same thing. You should be able to criticize something if you don't like it. Like if you go into a restaurant and the guy overcooks your steak, and burns your vegetables, you're allowed to say this sucked. You're allowed to. So what do you think about those comments? Eric, is Moose right?
I disagree with him. I mean, like you said about the restaurant, it's like paying to go to a baseball game. You expect to see something good, for example, and both teams crap the bed, and you're just not enjoying it. You had the right to voice your displeasure. Those people, you're paying to go see something, and you wanted to give your opinion on it.
Yeah, it just was a really ill-timed comment from Moose that I think that it also kind of highlighted the fact that things just didn't go well on Thursday night for him, and you kind of put a cherry on the Sunday of that, and just not a good call by Moose. So yeah, oh my man Moose. Oh, but we also had some more interesting stuff. We talk about the Rascals getting signed away. Well, they weren't the only ones that moved around. Powerhouse Hobbs, the monster from AEW, Tony couldn't pull him back. Tony tried, apparently offered him a massive contract to stay, but he has decided to apparently go to WWE. Unfortunately, they had to make a last minute change for Collision because the ops were scheduled to, and including Hobbs was supposed to defend those trios titles, and they just took those off the ops just like that and gave them to Hangman. The well-established trio, by the way, of Hangman, Adam Page, and Jet Speed. Hangman just grabbed those guys and said, "Let's go. We're gonna win trios titles," and they do. So Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, and Hangman Adam Page are the new trios champions, mostly thanks to Powerhouse Hobbs. But your thoughts, Eric, on Hobbs bailing out of AEW and going to WWE? He had a solid home there, but he wants something different.
Well, for starters, he has the WWE look. Huge, muscular guy. And he's decent in the ring, so let's see how he's used. That's the key factor. Don't bring him in and say, hey, here's our shiny new toy. Play with the toy for a month or so, and then, oh, you're here. Okay.
Yeah, it's been really up and down for people to come over from AEW to WWE. Hobbs can make it. Smart guy. Like I said, just unbelievable build. Has a lot of great things he can do in the ring. And he will have some bigger guys he can work with in WWE too. That's one thing AEW, their roster tends to trend small, especially at the top, as opposed to WWE where there's a lot of big guys that Hobbs can have some fun with. And I love the guy to death. I can't blame him. You're going to bet on yourself. You think you're going to make it in WWE. And Tony's was a little up and down with the booking on him. So, why not take the chance? It'll be interesting. I just hope to God that they don't pull something like, let's put him with Obafemi and, maybe Trick Williams. And we'll put all the black guys together again and, try to make a New Day 2.0. Just please, Triple H, don't do something like that.
Well, from what I heard, he's going to SmackDown. So they'll keep him away from Oba because I heard he's going to Raw.
Yeah. So who knows how that's going to turn out, but we want to wish Hobbs all the best. I'm a little disappointed he left AEW, but good luck to him over in WWE, and I hope things go well. Well, speaking of black guys, by the way, here's one for you. So WWE had some tryouts this week. And they decided that because Triple H has there's a perception about him that he doesn't push black wrestlers and doesn't put any stress on them, that all of a sudden recently he's making some moves, bringing all the black guys up, and they were apparently stressing this at the tryouts. And let me find the comment that got made. I apologize. I lost it. But he was trying to get more black talent into WWE. Those streaks that are going on WWE PLEs, if you haven't heard this, it has been 1,061 days since a black man won a singles match on a WWE premium live event. This was when Lashley got a DQ over Lesnar at the 2023 Elimination Chamber. 1,264 days since a black man won a WWE PLE match by pinfall or submission. That was Lashley over Theory at SummerSlam 2022. This is interesting that now all of a sudden, all these call-ups are African-American wrestlers. And how would you like to be a white guy at that tryout, by the way?
Oh, brutal.
The next day you're out of there and you're hearing how the stress was on the brothers. It's like, what? Oh, but I think there's a more interesting picture here. Is all this just being done to help WWE and Triple H's reputation when it comes to black representation on the card? I mean, I'm not a big, you have to have so many from each race or gender in a company. But those stats are kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, you would hope, especially with Carmelo Hayes as U.S. champion, he would be on the next. Well, I mean, okay, Royal Rumble is the next one, so I'm sure you'll have some. But maybe for Elimination Chamber, have Carmelo Hayes do a U.S. Open challenge if he's still champion by then. Give him an opportunity.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think it goes all the way back to WrestleMania 19.
Yeah.
Because people feel the whole Booker T thing.
Yeah, he has never shaken that. The comment, he cut in a promo, people like you don't win world championships. And it just didn't go well. He was more referring to Booker T's past from what people have said, but it just it didn't work out very well. But you got, but it's weird because you have Montez, the Street Profits, Montez Ford and the boys on the and Dawkins on the shelf. They're not being used right now. Nobody's hurt. And a lot of people thought, well, Montez was probably going to be that next breakout star, and he's never gotten the chance. So I think it's very strange that all of a sudden WWE, pulls up Javon Evans, they pull up Obafemi, and I'm forgetting somebody else too,
Trick Williams.
And Trick Williams. And now they're trying to find black prospects as well. Man, you don't, there's a criticism like that, you maybe kind of take things slow, but you don't just all of a sudden, maybe you have a match in your hand that's on fire. You don't take a giant vat and dump it all over to put the match out. Everybody sees the giant vat. This wasn't handled well, I think.
No, I mean, Trick was ready. He's been there a long time. Okay, Trick was ready. Oba, he's got that look, but maybe not quite yet. And Javon, I mean, he's phenomenal in the ring. But again, is it time? He's very young. Give him a little more time.
Yeah,
of the three, Trick is the big one that stands out that needed to be moved up just because he's done everything.
Yeah, and I agree with Obafemi getting pulled up too. I mean, just when you watch him in the ring, he doesn't have a lot of in-ring experience compared to quite a few people, but he just stands out. I mean, the body, the strength, the
entrance,
great entrance, and the way he expresses himself in the ring does it like somebody that's been wrestling for a decade. So it's not a matter of these guys aren't talented, but just bad timing on their part. Yeah, and even and we just also heard about scouting indie wrestlers that the WWE and AEW are both scouring the indies right now. WWE has changed their mind again. They're not necessarily going after the college athletes. They want to hit the indie circuit. They want some experience, and they want people to cut promos. So apparently William Regal and Gabe Sapolsky are out there right now scouting the indies, trying to find new stars. But Tony is also out looking to sign indie talent as well. And I think there's two reasons for that. One is they're kind of responding to WWE. They don't want to lose out. But the other thing I'm wondering about is something going on with Ring of Honor that they need to stock up a little bit. And it's not like their roster isn't huge already. But if there's a TV deal in the offing for Ring of Honor, they're going to need some people, that are younger and give them a chance to work. So what do you think of that? WWE and AEW both attacking the indies, Eric.
I mean, look at WWE's roster. How many guys are in their mid to late 40s that are going to be retiring soon? You need that new blood, whether they're to go into NXT as you're calling more people up. And AEW, yeah, they have a humongous roster, but you don't see hardly any of them. And if you can get some people to come in and start, even if they lose their matches initially, just build themselves up, give them opportunity.
Yeah, and with AEW building that roster, it's been 16 days into the year, and AEW has already signed. Andrade's kind of a re-sign, but welcome back to Andrade. Jake Doyle, formerly Jake something. Mascara Dorada is now under a dual contract with CMLL and AEW, as is Persephone and Hechicero. And then they've also brought in the Rascals. Queen Aminata was renewed. MJF actually went out and was hanging out with Alec Price and Jordan Oliver on the Indies, and told them after they wrapped up that both of them are now all elite. So Tony's not messing around here either, man. He is not messing around. That's a lot of people in 16 days to sign with a roster that big.
Yeah, he's been a very busy man. That's for sure. And I said I love the fact that he wants to compete.
Who do you like out of those guys? I mean, do you like all those signings? Were there maybe some you didn't like? What do you think about that group?
I mean, unfortunately, to be honest, I'm not fully familiar with some of them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously, the Rascals are the best, the best signing. That group of four can come in, they can be showcased immediately and make a difference.
Yeah, they're not messing around with Jake Doyle either. They put him in the Don Callis family with Mark Davis, and put him in a tag team, and they just won the #1 contendership. So Jake Doyle shows up, and 8 days later, it looks like he's going to be wrestling for the tag titles. Him and Davis, that's a scary couple of guys right there. I mean, Jake is a monster. If you don't know, I actually interviewed him. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. But that guy, in terms of strength, is in John Cena land. So that was interesting. That was an interesting decision on Dynamite to put those guys over that quick.
It was, but it's a good thing because you brought him in, and now you're going to see what he can do. And yeah, he'll get a good start with FTR, we know how great wrestlers they are. But get him in the humongous Don Callis family and let him become that breakout star.
Yeah. So some pretty wild stuff going on behind the scenes, and with everybody. There's a lot of scrambling going on, and a lot of agents getting called. So keep your eyes on all this stuff. It is crazy.
And we're not done.
We're not even close to done. Not even close to done. All right. And when we come back, oh man, we got just some other interesting things happening in the world of pro wrestling. Just looking at, WWE kind of changing the shows up a little bit. And by the way, Matt Black, don't forget him. He is going to be on the show in hour number 2. So stick around, everybody. Eric Hay and I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay, I think we're ready for the conference. Remind me, who's handling our exhibit strategy, production, and logistics?
I thought you were.
No, I was under the impression you were.
Well, that was a mistake.
Fortunately for these two, ET Global exists. They handle the design, exhibit strategy, production, shipping, setup, and everything else no one in this meeting volunteered for. ET Global is more than a vendor. They're a partner in your corner, anticipating and shaping every detail to elevate your live brand experiences. Exhibitions, events, brand spaces. ETGlobalUSA.com.
Oh my God, what did you do? Curtis, wake up, come on, Curtis, please wake up, please, come on.
When it comes to an overdose, naloxone can mean the difference between life and death, and calling 911 gets them the help they need. Give CPR, administer naloxone, and call 911. It can save a life.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcaster Association and this station.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Empower. After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he could be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we're back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Of course, also on the Odyssey app, streaming on X, YouTube, and Facebook. We'd love to see you there as well and say hi as we go through the world of pro wrestling here on KDAWN. So, Eric, WWE, I gotta say, they actually listened to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
They listened.
They did.
We got a new report that the number of commercial breaks on Monday Night Raw has been dropped from 12 to 10. So a little bit more actual stuff on TV, but they said that it was breaking up the flow of the show. And once again, people were really complaining about it. And it is heavy on advertising. So as of this last show, WWE has cut the commercial breaks. It's just ironic that TNA had a ton of them in there, but good call.
No, it is a very good call. Now, I'm not sure how much of that is influenced by Netflix or USA on Friday, but either way, it gets a little redundant watching all those commercials. You want to watch the wrestling or the stories play out, whether it's something backstage or promo. You want to watch it. You don't want to watch, like I said before, 2 minutes of a match, go to commercial, and watch the last 30 seconds. That's not fun.
No.
That's not enjoyable at all. That doesn't make me want to come back and watch more. It makes you want to walk away.
I mean, you had all these guys getting pulled up on WWE and onto the main roster, and crazy enough that a couple of them happened during commercial breaks. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You're introducing new stars, and you decide to do a contract signing during the commercials. Come on, bad WWE.
Or have one of your most over performers come out during commercial.
Yeah,
in the Usos.
That too. That was kind of a mistake. Well, we had some. Of course, we had the world title change. The Undisputed Championship is now in the hands of Drew McIntyre, who got to perform in front of a crowd with that championship, and for the first time. I mean, every championship he won, he was either during the pandemic or he was, of course, had lost it on a Money in the Bank challenge. But there's more coming out about this title change, and it just goes to show how much things can, or how fast things can change in this industry. Because now they are saying that they hadn't made the decision on putting Drew over Cody within 40 hours of the show. They're saying 48 hours before the show is when they finally decided to do it. And we've also heard Cody and Drew were both pitching the title change. That's pretty crazy stuff when you think about it, because they've also had to change all the WrestleMania plans, and to do it so close to that broadcast in Germany. Man, that is taking a chance, but then you have Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, they can handle it.
Exactly. And I mean, we live in Las Vegas. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
Yeah, and
so let's see how it plays off.
And we're hearing more and more that we're talking like Drew, Cody, and Jacob Fatu in that match. But Randy Orton appears to be getting involved, and I suggested a 4-way with Lesnar, Orton, McIntyre, and Rhodes. Some people liked it, some people didn't, as I found out on TikTok. But this possible triple threat maybe in the main event or in WrestleMania, or you got any other ideas, Eric? Where do you think this is going to go?
I'd rather see something one-on-one, whether it's Drew is still champion, whether they do a title change in Elimination Chamber. I want to see Drew get to defend the title at WrestleMania. I feel he's earned it. Like you said, he either held the title during the pandemic, won and then lost right away because of Damian Priest cashing in at WrestleMania. Give us Drew defending the title at WrestleMania. He's earned it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's a heel walking in as champion where you can have a face come in and take the title. Whether it's a established face or someone that's in a way newer with Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I understand why Jacob would be in that match. Just he's, I don't know if it's just he hasn't been there, but he's talented enough to do it. There's no question about it. Unfortunately they slowed the rocket with him, to say the least. But we'll see how things go with Jacob Fatu. But looking ahead, the Royal Rumble isn't far away. We're only a couple weeks away from this thing. And as you mentioned before we got on the show, Eric, that they haven't been hyping it that hard, which is kind of crazy. But looking at the odds from our friends on BetOnline AG, and by the way, you can get a 50% matching bonus up to $1,000. So if you click on the banner at markhokeshow.com, put in the code BOL1000 and go to the site where you can bet on just about everything. By the way, I'm looking on this list, Eric. Let's see what we got. We got the Aussie rules football on there, lacrosse, politics, rugby, volleyball, table tennis, all sorts of fun stuff.
Some of the stuff we can bet that we can write tickets for at work.
Yeah, yeah. But of course, wrestling is on there, and I'm a little surprised that because of these title changes on the men's side, there has not been much of a shift in the betting odds on this.
Really?
Roman Reigns remains the betting favorite at plus 150, Gunther at plus 200. Then it's Braun Breaker at plus 300. And by the way, if you don't know what those numbers means, that means you would bet 100 and you would win, that bet 100 to win 300. So Sami Zayn's plus 400, LA Knight plus 6, CM Punk at plus 1,000. Obafemi has now been it's up to plus 14. Seth Rollins plus 18. Dominic Mysterio is at 2,000, as is Jacob Fatu. And then you go Lesnar Orton at plus 2,500. They have Drew McIntyre in there. I don't know if he might be busy, but they're putting him at 28. Rock's 33. Who comes out in this, Eric? We've seen Rumbles that have been incredibly predictable. This one is not.
No, it's not.
I got no clue who's walking out with this.
Which is a good thing. I mean, I think it's funny that CM Punk is 10-1 when he's champion.
Yeah.
He's obviously more than likely not going to be in the Rumble. But, I mean, like I said a couple weeks ago, I'd love to see them finish this redemption story with LA Knight. Have him come back and win the thing and challenge Punk. You already have you can get great promos out of it. You have an established thing from a few months back. That's where I personally would go. Roman, we've been there, done that. He doesn't need to win the Rumble. He's already well established. Have him win the Chamber if you want to have him in the match.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, this is going to be a fascinating Rumble. And, one person that has really divided everybody is Sami Zayn. I'll hear people that say, oh my God, it's Sammy's time for the redemption run. And then I hear people say, Sami Zayn looks like a homeless bum. We're tired of him. Don't you dare let him win the Rumble. If someone said to you, Eric, what would you do with Sami Zayn here? Would you lean more towards the side of Sami winning and eventually becoming a world champion, or do you lean more towards the side of, it's not there?
I mean, think about it. He's got the Daniel Bryan look in a way. Just he's not quite in that same spot. He's not as over as Daniel Bryan was in 2014. But I like the redemption arc. It's, hey, I've been there, done this. I think they had their best chance 3 years ago with the bloodline stuff. But Cody was the focus. You had your perfect story there. Have him win the title in 2023 after the bloodline stuff.
Yeah, the time to push Sammy would have been at that Elimination Chamber, which was in Montreal. I mean, you had the perfect storm there, and we've seen those things happen before. WWE was willing to pull the trigger, but I guess Roman and Cody was just too much to break up or do anything with, and I think there would have been ways to do it because you do have 2 nights of WrestleMania, but oh well. But I don't know. I have been a big fan of Sammy's for a long time, but I think that the ship sailed.
Now, speaking of Sammy and Montreal, where's Saturday night's main event this Saturday? In Montreal, he's in that fatal 4-way.
That's right.
So, do you give him the title match with Drew at the Rumble?
Well, maybe. Jeez.
Or do you who do you put in that spot? Do you put Randy Orton in that spot?
Yeah.
I think Randy Orton. I think Sami Zayn in the Rumble, especially him making the Final 4, is the better story.
Wouldn't it be fun to have Randy Orton walk into WrestleMania with the championship?
Oh, as a 15-time champion and defending against whoever.
Drew, I'm telling you, him, Drew, and Cody is money. It's money.
Or if they're so hyped on Roman, make it the Fatal 4-way.
Yep.
A little bit different than what you had said, but.
And Javon Campbell, 8357. He's not messing around. The OTC is going to regain the title for 10 years this time. I don't know about that.
Take that, Bruno.
I don't know about that, but I could see Roman winning a title again, world championship again soon. Pretty. So it's gonna be an interesting run to the WrestleMania here, and what happens at the Rumble. But I do want to remind everybody that we've got a big event coming up here in Las Vegas, February 4th. AEW Dynamite and Collision are going to be at the Pearl Theater at the Palms. And guys, if you haven't gone to watch a wrestling show at the Pearl Theater, it's awesome. And I would highly recommend getting those balcony seats if they're available. It's just a fun place to go and watch a card. So AEW in town on the 4th. Card starts at 4:30. Go get your tickets at AEWTix.com. All right, we come back. Matty Black's going to be here, my boy. I can't wait. If you haven't seen Matt on the show, he's got an amazing backdrop and a snark like you wouldn't believe. So stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Eric, hey, I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show. Hour 2 coming your way in just a little bit. Stick around. We'll be right back. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Oil change overdue? Meineke has certified technicians ready to keep your car running right. Every visit includes a free digital e-inspection with photos and videos for total peace of mind. And right now, get a synthetic blend oil change starting at only $34.95 at all locally owned and operated Meineke centers. Need more repairs? Financing options can help you stay on the road. Schedule today at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
The key to unlock the next breakthrough in cancer research could be sitting in your driveway. Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your unwanted vehicle into funding to support innovative cancer research. So when you're looking to get rid of your old car, truck, motorcycle, RV, or boat, why not donate it to Stand Up to Cancer? You can be a driving force in cancer research. Donate your car today. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
If you live in Clark County, you are at risk of developing non-smoking lung cancer. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that gets into homes and increases one's risk of lung cancer, and it exists here in Clark County. Radon is colorless and odorless, so the only way you know if your radon level is elevated in your home or office is by testing. To get your free test kit, visit our website with a new interactive map to find a pickup location nearest you at www.extension.unr.edu/radon. 21,000 people die of lung cancer each year, and Nevadans are at a higher risk. If an elevated level of radon is found, there are ways to reduce it and lower the risk of getting lung cancer. Get your free test kit today. Visit our website with a new interactive map to find a pickup location nearest you at www.extension.unr.edu/radon. Sponsored by the University of Nevada, Reno Extension's Radon Education Program, and aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Paying too much. KMXP HD3 Henderson, K260HCS Las Vegas, 1015 FM KDAWN. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hundreds of troops on standby. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. Minnesota's National Guard troops mobilized as protests continue to disrupt federal immigration operations, as Fox's Matt Finn reports from Minneapolis.
Today, we expect more demonstrations and protests. We're heading into week 3 of unrest here in Minnesota, and the clashes between law enforcement and demonstrators showing no signs of slowing down. And a short while ago, President Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, ICE is removing some of the most violent criminals in the world from our country and bringing them back home where they belong. Why is Minnesota fighting this? Do they really want murderers and drug dealers to be ensconced in their community? The thugs that are protesting include many highly paid professional agitators and anarchists. Is this really what Minnesota wants? Now, there was another tense scene here yesterday outside of the federal ICE facility. Law enforcement holding the line against angry protesters who can be heard screaming, "Kill yourself," and "Un-American" to officers.
Pentagon has also ordered 1,500 active duty U.S. soldiers to prepare for possible deployment to Minnesota if the violence escalates there. Justice Department expected to appeal a federal judge's ruling limiting the use of tear gas against demonstrators. President nearing a decision on a new chairman of the Fed.
President Trump has narrowed a list of finalists to just a few names, including the director of the National Economic Council, Kevin Hassett.
I actually want to keep you where you are, if you want to know the truth. Kevin Hassett is so good. I'm saying, wait a minute.
President Trump has been harshly critical of outgoing chairman Jerome Powell. His term expires in May. The president accuses Powell of playing politics with monetary policy and overspending for renovations at the Fed's headquarters. But even some Senate Republicans have warned about President Trump's influence on the Fed and have raised concerns about the Fed's independence. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
America is listening to Fox News.
I'm Emily Campagno, and I'm taking you inside the Idaho murders. In Moscow, Idaho, a small college town, one case so violent and heartbreaking shocked the nation. 4 students were found brutally murdered in their off-campus home, prompting a cross-country search for the cold-blooded killer. The Fox True Crime Podcast presents Inside the Idaho Murders, the evidence, the manhunt, the killer, and the victims.
Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com. Every weekday, it's your go-to source for staying informed and entertained. The Fox News Primetime Highlights Podcast, offering a curated selection of the most impactful moments of the Ingram Angle, Jesse Waters Primetime, Hannity, and Gutfeld. Listen and follow now so you never miss a moment of the action-packed highlights from these must-watch Fox News Channel shows. Go to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, this is Ted Cruz. Join Ben Ferguson and me each weekend for Verdict. We take you behind the scenes for the ultimate insider show with the most up-to-date news and reaction.
Saturday mornings at 10 on KDAWN and everywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Oh, yeah. Woohoo. Pro wrestling, baby. Yes.
Yes.
On the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. The talk of Las Vegas. Live in the KDAWN studios.
And the Odyssey app.
And the Odyssey app. Of course, the KDAWN studios, otherwise known as my second home. I have a cot and a beanbag chair in the back. I gotta get a lava lamp in here, I think. That's what I need. I need a lava lamp.
Bring back the 70s. Let's do it.
Yeah. No, not all of it.
Well,
I had to wear Garanimals when I was a kid.
Part of that you didn't control, so.
I don't know. Being told, here's your matching clothes, you don't have to really think about it. They were all right.
Yeah.
Just, plaid and bright colors. That probably wouldn't work today, but who knows?
Somewhere they might. You never know.
They might somewhere. Oh, man. I'll tell you, it's just been a wild week in pro wrestling. Of course, the Haymaker, Eric Hayes, sitting in with me. But I am so happy when this guy comes on the show. I mean, my heart just beats a little faster. I get all pumped up. Got to get an extra workout in. Just because when Matt Black is on the Mark Hoke Show, there's just nothing better. Nothing welcome in Matt Black. How are you doing, sir?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you too, man.
Yep. So, and Matt, before we start, give me one of those action figures up there. What do we got? Give me a good story on something that's sitting behind you. If you're not,
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to move around. I really don't feel like moving around.
Okay, don't move around. That's a good point. I forgot. I'm sorry, but a ton of stuff up there.
I'd have to get up and grab something and then put it back and worry about it might fall or whatever. Just warn me next time, and I'll have something prepared.
Is that an Alf over your shoulder?
Yes.
Wow. Alf.
Go Alf.
Really? Okay.
I grew up on Alf, man. That's classic show.
It is a classic show. Cat doesn't fit in the toaster.
But it should.
I don't know what they were doing on Melmac. That was some interesting. It was an interesting place.
All right. Well, we didn't bring Matty on to talk about his action figures. We think about the scene from Spaceballs. We don't want to see if Matt's that kind of guy. But you all right, Matt? I'm just hitting you this morning. I'm having fun.
Hammering me right early.
Well, let's talk about the TNA debut on AMC. Not critically well received, and I would trust me. I've been dying all week to hear this reaction. Your thoughts on this, because a lot of issues on this show.
Dude, it was terrible. How do you call yourselves total nonstop action and put on 3 matches in a 2-hour span, and you can't even time 3 matches properly within 2 hours? So your main angle that ended the show, you needed to post on your social media accounts afterwards because you didn't have enough time to air it on your actual show? Like, what are we doing? Like, you had months to prepare for this. You knew what this show was going to be when you signed with AMC. Like, there's no way you weren't preparing for this show for at least a month, if not longer. And that's what you came up with? Look, I know they had some visa issues and whatnot, but they have more than enough talent that they could have gone out there and had a great show, put their best step forward, and they didn't. And you could tell the main event was rushed because Santana and Frankie were missing spots near the end of the match because they were probably frantic and trying to rush to make sure they got their time and got the match done before AMC cut their feed. It wasn't good, man. It really wasn't good. And I know a lot of people who haven't watched TNA in a long time who said, you know what? New era AMC, I'm going to give them another chance. And they watched this and it was LOL TNA all over again. And they're like, I'm not doing that again. And you only get, I would love to say you only get one chance to make a first impression, but TNA's had a lot of chances to make a first impression over the last 2 decades. And this might have been their last chance to do it, because I'm sure they had new viewers on AMC that have never watched this before. And if they're a fan of WWE or AEW or anything else and they watch this, they're like, what am I watching? It wasn't a good show. I'm extremely, as a longtime fan of TNA from way early, when they first started with the weekly $9.99 pay-per-views on a Wednesday night. Me and my friends would get together and pitch in some money and order them at a friend's house every week. We'd watch it. We'd love it. This wasn't good. It just wasn't. And they had two nice little video packages during the show of, look how great we used to be, showcasing the X division and the Knockouts division, and you're just reminded, like, oh, this is when TNA was awesome. What is this now? It's not good. I like Tommy Dreamer as a performer, but him and Delirious, they need to get them the heck out of the creative team today. Like, hire a new creative team and just start from scratch, because what they're doing right now isn't working, and the creative team they have in place right now is dragging this company down like an anchor.
Well, let me ask just, can they come back from this? Will wrestling fans be willing to say it was the first show? Yeah, there were a lot of problems, but it's the first time. Can we maybe, watch a couple more episodes and see if it gets better?
Well, TNA is the cockroach of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, you can't kill them. Every time you think that they're about to go under, something happens and they survive. So I'm not going to say this is the final nail in their coffin, because I don't think it is. But I don't think they're going to be able to get the interest back that they had on Thursday. I saw more people on my timeline Thursday night watching TNA Impact than I've seen in years. Probably since the episode that when Kenny Omega won the AEW World Championship, and the next episode, Don Callis is like, we're going to be on TNA, and they did that episode, and Omega was in his bus or whatever. I feel like that's the last time I've seen that many people talking about TNA on my timeline for an episode of Impact. And unfortunately, where that one was pretty positive in reception, I would say it was 90-10 negative on my timeline.
I think mine was
Thursday
worse.
night. And well, there was a couple people still just valiantly defending TNA, like, no matter what. And I'm just like, man, I feel like we're not watching the same show, but more power to you. But it just, I don't understand how you had that long of time to prepare, and that's what you gave us. I couldn't be more disappointed in that company right now than I am right now.
Well, I think that they have another bigger problem. I talked about this in the first hour, is that this deal with WWE, I think while you get a short-term benefit out of it, I think that it really hurts the company, because they are going to be, WWE is going to be rating talent. They have control if they want to, first rate response if they have wanted to sell TNA. They have influence over their creative, which I'm sure is not helping things. But I just think that TNA at this point, because they've had talent rated, the roster is a little thin too. And WWE's just going to keep doing it. They're not going to stop. Somebody's going to, get to be pretty good, and then WWE's just going to try and grab them. And you're back to square one in terms of building stars in TNA. So I think they've got a larger issue that's kind of looming over them that I don't think they're really thinking about.
Well, there's plenty of great men and women on the independent scene right now that TNA could sign and utilize. Like, there's reports out there right now that they're interested in Richard Holiday. That was reported from John Alba, Sports Illustrated. I think that would be a great pickup for them. Holiday's a star. Honestly, shocked that AEW never picked him up. He's good friends with MJF. So I kind of thought at one point that both him and Alex Hammerstone, I thought both of them were going to end up in AEW with MJF. I thought they'd reform the dynasty, and they just never did it. I think Holiday's a good pickup for them. I think, honestly, they should have signed the two guys that MJF just had AEW sign on the independent scene over the weekend. Like, how is TNA not picking these people up? I don't know, man. I think their roster's deep enough that they can have a good product as long as the creative's good. But yeah, WWE's using them as their own developmental right now. And when they see a talent that they like, a Jordan Grace or a Joe Hendry or a Leon Slater, they make it abundantly clear that they're interested in these people. And when their deals are up, they're gone.
Right.
And because that's just how it is. From my understanding, I think they bought the remainder of Hendry's TNA contract out to bring him in even earlier. Like, I think he was out of TNA before his original contract was supposed to be up. And the Slater situation, like, he could have been the future for TNA, but he's WWE's future now.
Yep.
But I will say WWE did not yank Leon Slater from Thursday's Impact debut or the Genesis pay-per-view. Leon Slater's legitimately one of the talents that is suffering the visa issues right now that TNA didn't handle in time. So he's stuck in the United Kingdom, and TNA allowed WWE to use him on SmackDown and, any other live events that they wanted to use him on this weekend. because he has nothing else to do right now until he can get back in the States. So that one wasn't on WWE, but there's a lot of things that are on WWE, and that's definitely something a lot of people they're not thinking about that. I see so many people saying how great of a partnership this is. And to me, it really feels like a one-way street with WWE, and it's like our way or the highway. Where I feel like AEW and CMLL is a much better representation of what a true company-to-company partnership should be than what we're getting out of WWE and TNA.
Yeah, I just think that WWE's goal is eventually to wipe TNA out, get the video library, and be done with it. I really do. Because I just don't know. I don't know how TNA is going to be able to. One of the things you got to do in a wrestling company is you got to be able to develop your stars, keep them as long as you can, and WWE's not going to allow it. They're not. They're going to be sitting there with people ready to, with contracts in hand, to say, hey, when you're done here, and some of their TNA's contracts are pretty, lightweight, part-time kind of stuff.
Yeah.
WWE's just going to scarf them up. And so once you may be watching TNA for somebody, and then they're going to be gone. And it's going to happen over and over again. And you're not going to want to watch that product.
Yeah. I still think the problem's not the talent on the roster as much as it is the creative. I feel good creative could solve anything, regardless of your roster and your depth of talent. I think as long as you're creating a product that's interesting, that people want to tune into with intriguing characters, like you're going to be fine. And I think with the right creative team in place, TNA could do that without a problem. I really don't understand why. Like if AEW and CMLL are doing the dual contracts thing, why can't they do dual like NXT TNA contracts? Like allow these people to work both. Like they don't need to be exclusive to one or the other. And if they're in one brand or the other, don't hold their creative over the other company's head and make them feel like they have to use them this way or they have to treat them this way. Like, because they used Joe Hendry over the weekend at Genesis. Like, I guarantee WWE's like, yeah, you could use Joe Hendry, but he's got to win.
Yeah.
Like they weren't going to let him go over there and lose, because like Cedric could have used that win pretty badly.
Yeah.
But no, like Joe Hendry's a WWE guy, so Joe Hendry has to go over. And like I see everybody just so desperately begging for AJ Styles to wrestle one match in TNA. I don't see it happening. WWE's never let a main roster talent compete in TNA. It's always been the NXT people. I feel if we ever get AJ Styles versus Frankie Kazarian this year, it's going to happen on an episode of Raw, not an episode of Impact.
Yeah. Eric, did you have any questions for Matt?
I really like his takes on what he's saying. I believe they do need creative. Who would you like to see them? Maybe WWE send someone down there. Who do you think would be a good person to let them do a show?
Oh, you just mean like talent or
like
or
a creative, like someone on the creative team to do an episode of Impact.
I don't know if I'd recommend them bring anybody over from WWE, because I think TNA's biggest problem is they're trying to be WWE light. And I think TNA should try to stand on its own as its own entity and not try to compare themselves to WWE, because I think that would help their products stand out more in the grand scheme of things. I'm a big proponent of Scott D'Amore. I don't think Anthem should have ever fired him. I thought TNA's creative over the last 5 years was at its absolute peak when he was in charge of things. Trying to think of who is available right now that could come in and do something.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
I was just gonna say, I know this sounds silly, but maybe call up Freddie Prinze Jr. He has a very good creative wrestling mind, and he wants to start his own company, and like that's just kind of really difficult to get something like that off the ground. I don't think it would be a bad idea at all for Anthem to pick up the phone and call him and say, what do you want? Like, what do you want to come in here, take the book, and you could take over TNA creatively and take us into the next chapter instead of you being focused on trying to open up your own company. You get to start with something that's already established. You got a TV deal. You got a roster. come in and try to build something with us. I don't think that would be. I genuinely don't think that would be a bad idea at all. There's also just a lot of people. There's a lot of creative minds online that have never been given just the opportunity to have the chance to book a professional wrestling show. There's people out there that are, to me, are qualified. I know people who are smart enough to book a week-to-week wrestling show. I'm not trying to put myself over, but I think I can book a better week-to-week wrestling show than Tommy Dreamer and Delirious are putting on right now.
Wow, there you go.
So I'm not saying call me, but hey, call me. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just need the opportunity, and everybody wants to turn to the people who have been there, done that. Inject some fresh blood into the industry. Let some new voices in. Let the product evolve. And I think that might be TNA's best opportunity to salvage what happened on Thursday night. I think, honestly, their top priorities right now should be restructuring their creative team from scratch. I think Tommy and Delirious, if they want to stay on as like producers or agents, fine. But you're not in creative anymore. You're done. You're done. It's not working. You had plenty of opportunities. It's time to move on.
By the way, some comments in the chat box, mostly directed at Matt because he's awesome. Gamer Bear 84, the Matt is back. That's right. I got Matty back on the show. And Mark Joe Madness, I like that. Yes, call Matt. So someone in support of that. And by the way, somebody also liked my lava lamp idea. It is apparently according to Javon Campbell, is the key to the Dude Hoke character change, a la Dude Love. Dude Hoke, guys? Should I do it?
I'll be calling you that on Tuesday morning when I come into work.
God.
If you could do the dance, I say go for it.
Oh, I can do the dance.
Oh, then you got to go for it, Dan.
All right.
There's your Halloween costume this year.
Oh, man.
Dude Hoke.
I'm sure WWE Shop's got some of those Dude Love shirts still on there, man. Yeah, you got to get it before his Legends deal is up. They're probably all the Foley stuff's on clearance right now. You got to go get it while it's there.
Yeah. I may have to get one done. We'll see. All right, guys. We are going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, man, everybody's moving around. What does Matt Black think about it? Hobbs gone, and Tony's signing everybody. It's crazy. We've got a lot more on the Mark Hoke Show coming up here. We got the Haymaker, Eric Hay, Matt Black on the show sitting in, and little old me, Mark Hoke. We'll be right back with the best in pro wrestling on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Stick around.
Hi, I'm Sherry Harris, owner of LifeSource. Harsh desert water makes a LifeSource whole house water system an essential home appliance. A LifeSource system filters and conditions your water and will improve your family's life and protect your home. We build, install, and stand behind every system. So start your new year right. Call our U.S. factory at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com. LifeSource. Taste and feel the difference.
Warranty limitations apply. The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Refresh your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Reimagine your bathroom with up to 40% off select faucets during our Bath Savings event. Need it today? Order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Shop for your bathroom refresh at Lowe's. We help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Same-day delivery on eligible in-stock items, subject to availability. Fees vary. Visit Lowes.com/same-day delivery for full terms.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Gotta do one with the Zen, man. Let's try it. Everybody breathe in. Now, you guys can't breathe out. Just sit there for a little bit. Let's see how that goes. All right, we'll go back to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. I said don't breathe. Come on. It's my show. No? All right. It's all good. Matt Black joining us along with Eric Hayes sitting in, and we're just having a blast. It's been just a wild week. But Matt, Powerhouse Hobbs is now apparently in WWE. Does this
certainly seems that it certainly appears that way?
Yeah. How much does this hurt Tony not having Hobbs on the roster anymore, or does it matter?
I love Powerhouse Hobbs, but I think the AEW roster right now is so insanely deep that I don't think it really hurts them. It seems Hobbs made up his mind months ago that he wanted to go try things out at WWE because there are reports out there that like he was offered a significantly huge contract to stay with AEW and he declined. And I think he's one of those people that just wants to go out there and bet on himself and see what happens. And I hope it works out for him. But as you guys were talking about in the first hour, the way Triple H has booked African American talent over the last 5 years, I wouldn't have been making that jump. I surely wouldn't have been. I surely would have been staying right where I was. But if he wants to go over there and try it, like I hope it works out for him because like I said, I love Hobbs. I think he's great. He definitely has the WWE look. And as long as they keep him as far away from Obafemi as humanly possible, I think he has a chance to be successful. Those two men cannot be on the same show. You cannot allow the chance for the WWE Universe to immediately start comparing these two men because Obafemi is already WWE's chosen one. You can already tell based on how he was utilized in NXT, how they're building his eventual main roster debut with all these video packages, working the match with Cody at Saturday night's main event. This is going to be a big project for WWE going forward in Obafemi. And I think Femi and Hobbs share a lot of the same qualities. And I worry that if there's too much interaction there, it could hurt Hobbs because all things considered and reported right now, he's skipping NXT. Hobbs is going straight to Raw or SmackDown, and hopefully it's SmackDown if Femi's going to Raw, like reports suggested he's going to. I do think WWE missed if he's signed already, and I don't know if he's put pen to paper or if he was waiting for his contract to expire to truly negotiate with them. If he's already put pen to paper and he's already signed with them, the fact that they did not fly him in to the United Kingdom and have him on SmackDown on Friday before being on Collision the next day is mind-boggling to me, because that's the type of thing that WWE back in the Attitude Era 1000% would have done. So when I hear deals up at Wednesday at midnight, SmackDown's in the UK. Fly him over there on the WWE private jet. Have him, sit in the crowd or answer Carmelo Hayes' open challenge, or just something that they could have done. And I think, honestly, I think that was a missed opportunity by WWE. If he's already locked into a deal, not to have him appear on TV while he was still a champion in AEW. I think that would have been a big thing for Hobbs and WWE moving forward that they didn't take advantage of.
And you bring up keeping him and Obafemi apart. One thing that I wonder about, I mean, if I'm Hobbs, I'm sitting there looking at the WWE roster because, clearly he wants to probably be a world champion, right? I mean, Obafemi stands in the way of that.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually down the road, could they get into a feud? Yeah, but it seems like, as you said, Obafemi's kind of the chosen one. You bring in Hobbs, and you got Obafemi. And I don't want to say that Obafemi light's not the right way to put it, but you get the idea.
But you get the idea. Of the same qualities. They wrestle a similar style. They're both built very similar. There's a lot of comparisons that can be made between Powerhouse Hobbs and Obafemi. And if Obafemi was still down in NXT and he was going to be there for the next year or whatever, and you were bringing Hobbs into the main roster right now, perfect. But now that you're full steam ahead with Oba, and like I said, all reports suggest that Hobbs is bypassing NXT and going straight to the main roster. I hope they have a plan. Because this time of year, it's very dangerous to bring someone in on the road to WrestleMania without a plan, because they can get lost in the shuffle very quickly and they can get cooled off. And by the time you finally decide that you want to do something with them, nobody cares anymore. And that could be a very dangerous situation that Hobbs finds himself in right now.
Yeah. The last thing he wants to do is end up being a mid card, or even
that would suck so much.
Oh, I know. And
the thing is, I know everybody's saying like AEW didn't give him the right opportunities, but I feel if Hobbs would have never been injured in AEW, and unfortunately he got injured and found himself on the shelf on multiple occasions. I think if Hobbs would have been healthy the entire time, I think we could have seen an AEW world title reign from Hobbs at some point during his run. Because every time that he looked like he was right on the cusp of a big moment like that, he would get hurt. Like he had that AEW World Championship match against Jon Moxley. Or no, it was for the IWGP Championship.
Yeah.
He fought Jon Moxley and he got hurt in that match, and he was out for months. And then he would come back later and he would challenge Moxley for the AEW World Championship. But at that point, he was cold off. And they needed time to rebuild him up to that point that he was at when he challenged for the IWGP title. And it just, I think, honestly, if you look back on Hobbs' AEW career, I think the thing that hindered him more than anything was the untimely injuries that halted several of his pushes when he was with the company. And I think it's a big what if scenario to look at of what Hobbs could have been to AEW had he never been injured.
Well, let's shift it a little to the Rascals going to AEW. Tony pulls the curtain out on TNA, getting those guys in just a couple of days before this TV debut. How big of a deal is getting the Rascals on AEW?
TNA had every opportunity to lock this group down. They never had Myron Reed under contract. They never gave him a deal. They never, when Desmond Xavier came back after his run as Wesley in WWE, they never gave him a deal. They were just working on per appearance dates. And as far as I'm understanding, Trey Miguel wanted out, but he wasn't going to WWE. They saw what they did to his Zachary Wentz. They saw what they did to Wesley. He's like, AEW is really their only option. And they're all getting paid good money. And this is Myron Reed's first ever like big time contract. This is life-changing money for that guy. So I'm really happy for the Rascals to be able to be seen together on the national stage, because up until recently in Impact, those four men have never gotten to appear on television together. It's always been, two of them or three of them, or, a mixes of the group. So the opportunity for all 4 of them to work as a unit in AEW, I think it's very good. I think their style fits what AEW wants to present. They can work singles, they can work tags, they can work trios. As long as they can stay healthy, I think the Rascals are going to have a fantastic time in AEW.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them getting after the tag titles pretty quick here. I know that Mark Davis and Jake Doyle are now the number 1 contenders real quick, but I could see the Rascals just getting in there. Apparently, they're going to be a kind of stoner dudes, but
well, that's their gimmick. They've done that for years in TNA. Like that's their thing. They would do a thing in TNA called the Treehouse, which was kind of like a playoff of that 70s show, where they would spin around and they would be saying silly stuff while smoking and whatnot. So it seems like that's going to continue in AEW. But as far as FTR goes, they're in a holding pattern right now until Adam Copeland's done filming movies. The plan is to get back to FTR against Cope and Cage for those titles. And unfortunately, Cage is off TV because his storyline that should have been waiting for him when Copeland went away to go film TV is sitting on the sidelines with the injured Ring of Honor television champion, Nick Wayne. So Cage doesn't have anything to do right now, and they don't want to interject him back on TV and not have him interact with FTR because he should want revenge on FTR for what they did to him at All Out. So it's kind of a mess right now. So until Cope's done filming stuff and it can return, I feel this Doyle Davis match is going to happen at Grand Slam Australia next month, because that's the only way this match works, because it's a heel team versus a heel team. But in Australia, Davis and Doyle are going to be monster baby faces in that match against FTR. And I think they're going to push off that match, because they never said when the match was happening. They just said a future AEW World Tag Title shot. And I think they're going to push that off until Grand Slam Australia next month, and that's when we're going to get that match. But their whole FTR's in a holding pattern until Cope and Cage are back, and that's just the long and the short of it. So the Rascals, I think they're more likely for a trios run before they're likely for a tag title run.
Fair enough. Eric, do you have a question for Matt?
Of the 4, who do you think the AEW will focus on the most whenever that time comes?
Which one would you mean? Which one might be the breakout star of the group?
Yes, in AEW's mind.
Boy, I think Desmond Xavier showed everybody everything that they needed to see with his run as Wesley in NXT. Turning him heel in NXT was one of the dumbest decisions Shawn Michaels' creative team has made in the last several years. He doesn't work as a heel. He's a natural babyface in the ring, out of the ring. That's just what Xavier is. I think if you were to single out one person to be the single star from that group, it's got to be Desmond Xavier.
Wow, not Trey Miguel.
I love Trey Miguel, but I see more star potential in Xavier than I do Miguel.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. It's good. It's going to be very interesting. And then Tony, of course, signed a bunch of people here too. And there are rumors that maybe they've got a TV deal for Ring of Honor. You hearing anything about that?
I
Nothing?
haven't heard anything about a TV deal for Ring of Honor in quite some time. Tony has a dollar amount of what he believes the Ring of Honor brand is worth to produce weekly television for on a network other than Honor Club. And apparently, as far as my understanding, nobody has met that yet. And I don't mean to be mean, but until you improve the weekly Ring of Honor product on Honor Club, no one's going to offer you the money you think it's worth, Tony. Because as much as I love watching Dynamite and Collision every week, that Ring of Honor weekly product is not it. It's not good. Like, the Ring of Honor pay-per-views are can't miss. The Ring of Honor pay-per-views, when they put on pay-per-view, they're great every single time. But that weekly TV is rough. It's Ring of Honor. It's AEW Dark, but with the Ring of Honor branding on it. They need to do better than that. They have to do better than that. If they want to get some kind of television deal for Ring of Honor going forward with the money figure that Tony has in his head, they need to have somebody focused on improving that product. And I honestly think Tony stretches himself too thin at times with everything that he's got going on. I think it would be in Tony's best interest to let some of the creative minds within AEW hand them the book for Ring of Honor and just let them book. I mean, or heck, hire Scott D'Amore and let him book Ring of Honor. Because I guarantee you he could make it a fantastic Ring of Honor weekly product with what they're utilizing over there, and let it be separate from AEW. We don't need the constant crossover, in my opinion. I don't think the crossover between Ring of Honor and AEW is beneficial to either brand right now, because I don't think Ring of Honor has the name recognition or value that Tony thinks it does in 2026.
Fair enough. Well, it'll be fascinating to see how that all turns out too. But yeah, Ring of Honor, we got to get Ring of Honor on TV. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, more with Matt Black, Eric Hay, myself, I'm Mark Hoke. We're bringing you the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on 101.5 FM KDAWN, the Odyssey app, and of course, we're also live streaming. And people fire, there's a good comment in the chat box. We'll get that when we come back. Stick around, everybody. A whole lot more coming up as we wrap up the show. We'll be right back.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
Aaron Taylor here, the real estate guy. Let's talk real life for a second. If you own a home that's nasty, distressed, or just completely overwhelming, you're not stuck. Call the real estate guys today. You don't have to fix it, clean it, or explain it. We buy homes as is, exactly the way they are. We can make an offer in as little as 24 hours, and we'll even give you time to move on your schedule. Need money before you sell? We offer a cash advance that you could use for anything, or even repairs to get your home in tip-top shape to sell your home for the most money possible. And buyers, we got special programs to help you acquire your dream home. So call the real estate guys today. Happy New Year, and let's get 2026 started in the right direction. Call the real estate guys today, 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. eXp Realty, license number 38886. Call for details.
talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
Empower.
Ellie here is getting the sleeve she's always dreamed of. She worked with Empower and planned for her next move, so she got good at money. Now she can be a little bad. Oh, by the way, you spelled journey wrong. No worries. She can afford the cover-up too. Ooh, check out my tat. It says, invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text METER to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text METER to 42424. That's METER to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Oh, you betcha. Not letting y'all out of here yet until we wrap this thing up. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show. Here on KDAWN, I'm running the Starship in here. Eric Hay, Matt Black, Mr. Awesome. I'm Captain Awesome, but you can be Mr. Awesome, man.
Fair enough.
You'll be Captain Charisma.
No, that's already taken. You can't do that. Nice job, man. All right. Interesting comment in the chat box. I'm going to get to in just a second, but real quick, Matt, your thoughts on Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Undisputed Championship?
Long overdue. Should have happened at WrestlePalooza when Cody and Drew asked them to do it the first time. I think it would have made a lot of people look at that first premium live event on ESPN a lot differently than they did. But better late than never, and it truly shakes up the road to WrestleMania. Like, things were changed dramatically on the top of the card when they decided to make this move, and they decided to make this title change about 48 hours before that match in Germany. So things are going like Cody and Drew once again both went to them is like, let's do the title change, because Cody's of the opinion right now that he thinks he's more beneficial to WWE right now in the chasing role than the defending role, and I think he's probably right. And I think Drew as champion is a breath of fresh air that WWE desperately needed right now. So yeah, I'm all for McIntyre with the title. And I do believe his opponent at the Royal Rumble will be Sami Zayn in Saudi. I think that Saudi crowd will be white hot for Zayn. I don't think he'll win, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that is very true. But we have a comment about Hobbs in the chat box from Javon Campbell 8357 saying Hobbs and Jacob Fatu as a tag team would be fantastic in my opinion. Matt's shaking his head.
I'll tell you why. If Hobbs wanted to be in a tag team, he'd have stayed in AEW. The man wants to be a single star. That's what he wants. He doesn't want to be in a tag team. He doesn't want to be in a trio. He wants to be the focal point singles act. He does. If he comes over in WWE and in 3 months he's locked into a tag team, he's going to be like FML. Because I was just doing that over there, and they probably offered me more money that I just turned down to come over here, and now I'm stuck in a tag team over here. And we all see how WWE books tag teams. They don't book tag teams well. They don't like tag team wrestling in WWE. It's never been something that they get behind. The Street Profits haven't been on TV since October because they don't know what to do with them, and they feel like sitting them at home will refresh them when they finally bring them back to TV. Like, they don't care about tag teams in WWE. If you want to be a tag team, stay in AEW. But Hobbs wants to be a single star, and that's what he's hoping WWE will provide him with, and I hope that's what he gets.
Well, we have this interesting discussion going around about Triple H. They had a tryout this week, and we're putting the stress on black wrestlers. And we have all these call-ups. They're all black performers. Hobbs is coming in too. Is Trips trying too hard though to shake this perception that they don't like black wrestlers in WWE?
Well, I think this is WWE's problem in general. When they lean into anything, they lean into it way too hard, and they try to beat you over the head with it and make it obvious. I think more subtle strategies would work a lot better for them. But WWE's not a subtle company, and they love to beat their fans over the head with what they're trying to push right now. And right now Triple H is trying to escape that agenda that he doesn't push the African American talent. Will it work? Probably, as long as all of these talents are utilized properly, but they all need to be utilized properly. If 3 months from now at WrestleMania, if half of these people or only one of them are on the card, that's bad. It's very, very bad. They like if you're bringing up Javon, you're bringing up Trick, you're bringing up Oba, you're bringing in Hobbs. And Carmelo Hayes, currently United States champion. If all 5 of those guys are not booked on one night or the other of WrestleMania this year, that is a major failure by WWE, because the question would be, why did you bring them up in the first place to hurt NXT?
Right.
Because all you did by bringing these people up is hurt NXT. I will say that what I've heard about their new scouting for talent is a very good thing, because apparently they have William Regal and Gabe's I can't ever pronounce Gabe's last name right.
Sapolsky.
Yes, they have them scouting the independent scene again. They're looking for indie talent that can work and can cut a promo. And I think that's always what WWE should have been doing. I think they were way too focused for too many years on finding college athletes to bring in and try to start from scratch at the Performance Center. I think them going out and scouting the independent scene right now will be very beneficial to not only NXT, but WWE's future than just relying on college athletes to get them by. I think that was a recipe for a long-term disaster.
Yeah, because you're bringing in people that are raw, and you don't even know if they're going to like the business. You put a check in front of a college athlete, and they're going to jump. So it's it's not necessarily they want to be a wrestler; it's what they want the paycheck. But when the time comes, they've actually got to do it. That first bump, welcome to the party, pal. We had Mark Joe Madness in the chat box saying, I just hope they don't stick Hobbs with New Day. And that has got, and I got to tell you, I got a concern about that. They may try to make him Big E too.
That would be devastatingly bad for Hobbs. I love the New Day. I have always loved the New Day. I've been a huge supporter of them for the better half of 7 or 8 years, or however long they've been around at this point, but they've never been colder than they are right now. And saddling up Hobbs with the New Day right now would be a disaster for Hobbs, because everybody would be comparing him to Big E immediately. And there's a lot of similarities, like I said to Obafemi, but there's a lot of similarities to Big E as well.
But the difference is the personalities. He's not going to come in and do the hip shimmy shakes and all that kind of stuff.
But New Day doesn't do that right now either.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very bitter heel act right now on Raw. Another reason to make sure Hobbs lands on SmackDown. Keep that man away from Oba. Keep that man away from the New Day. Let Hobbs stand on his own.
That sounds good. Eric, you have anything?
I agree. I mean, New Day, they had that major heel turn with Big E, and since then? Like Matt said, they're coming off of these bitter heels, but how much are they really used? Other than backstage segments, and they have Grayson Waller with them.
Yeah, that is not good.
I was honestly very surprised when I heard that both Kingston and Woods re-signed with WWE, because I thought they were on the next train out. When they both re-signed up, I'm like, wow, with the way you guys have been used. I mean, more power to you. I hope the money's really good, but neither of those guys have been treated with the respect that they deserve since Big E's went out hurt. I feel like Big E's injury was kind of like the death nail for both Kingston and Woods in WWE in terms of getting any type of substantial push going forward. And I couldn't be more disappointed, because they caught that lightning in the bottle with that heel turn on E, and they dropped it. They dropped the bottle, and it was made of glass, and it shattered, and they're just stuck in a rut right now, and it breaks my heart to see where they are right now, because they deserve so much more.
Yeah, we got about 30 seconds. I want to hit this. This is a good point. Two-man chat box saying Roman is mad at Dwayne now that he didn't get a world title shot, because apparently there's rumors Roman's not going to wrestle for a title now at WrestleMania. Thoughts on that?
Well, it wasn't Dwayne's decision. It was Triple H's decision. When they decided to move that title, Roman was now the odd man out looking in of the WWE title picture going into WrestleMania. So honestly, I don't know what Roman's plans are. Maybe they should call Dwayne and do Rock and Roman this year, so Roman has a big match at WrestleMania this year.
That's a thought. I mean, if Seth gets back, I think that wouldn't be too bad either.
That was what they wanted to do in the first place, but Seth's injury changed everything. Maybe they know something we don't about Seth's return timeline. Maybe we do get Seth and Roman at Mania, but Seth and Braun Breaker makes more sense at the moment.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the road to WrestleMania is going to be fascinating, and Of course, Matt Black's going to be keeping an eye on it the whole way. Matt, where can everybody find you?
You can follow me on social media at RAWF Showtime.
There you go. He's the best. We love you, Matty, and very happy to have you back on the show. Eric Hay.
Great meeting you, Matt.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thank you.
Eric Hay sitting in as well with me today. And, of course, you can follow little old me, Mark Hoke, at Mark Hoke Show, and on Facebook, YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show. And we've got the TikTok and the Instagram running a little bit, too. So just look up Mark Hoke Show on there, and you can have fun with that as well. So thank you, everybody, for joining us here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas, on The Mark Hoke Show. And make sure you check out all of our great programming and the show I produce on Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific. Steve Sanchez Show, if you want a little politics in there, too. Thank you for being with us, everybody. We will see you next week. Have a great day, Las Vegas. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
I used to